Welcome to lesson 1.11. We are going to be talking about algebra today, and just to kind of spark your memory, you should have learned a little bit of algebra in 3rd and 4th grade, and you are basically finding the missing piece. So for example, 5 plus what equals 10? Hopefully you know that 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now, if you didn't know that, you could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would give you 5. So that's kind of the basic algebra. We're going to do a couple of those, and then we're going to get into today's lesson, which is a little bit of a different type of algebra. So here we have blank divided by 5 equals 10. Now with algebra, you can, if you have just one step like this, you can just go backwards. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So you do 5 times 10, and that gives you 50. What about, we'll go down. 20 plus something equals 23. Well, start at 20 and count up 20, 21, 22, 23. So it's 3. You could also do 3 minus 20, and that would give you 3 as well. Now, something minus 9 is 13. Now, the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we can do 13 plus 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So our answer is 22. Now, if you wanted to double check, you could. 22, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I think I counted wrong. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I did count wrong somewhere. We have 9 there. I do make mistakes. Plus, it's been a long day. All right, the next one, let me move me over, is something times 4 equals 36. Well, you can also go backwards. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Now, you may not need to go backwards for these, but I'm just showing you that you can do the inverse operation to get the answer. Now, the next one, 6 times something equals 48. You can still do division on this one, even though it's not open on the end. You can do 48 divided by 6 is 8. Good. And then the last one, 4 divided by something equals, no, 12 divided by something equals 4. So we have to ask ourselves, 4 times what equals 12? The answer is 3. All right, let's get started now. We want chapter 1 and lesson 11.
In what order must operations be evaluated to find the solution to a problem?
Now, this is going to be finding more than just the missing piece. It's going to be doing things in the right order. And I have a really awesome trick for you.
Howdy, folks. Check this out. One of the neighborhood dogs just got a brand new doghouse, and Cagney the cat is very curious about it. I think the dog is looking forward to moving in. I don't blame him. His owner spent a lot of time working on it. Click the doghouse to find how many nails the owner used to build it.
Maybe?
Let's look at how we can change a bread recipe. A bread recipe calls for 2 cups of wheat flour and 1 cup of rye flour. To triple the recipe, how many cups of flour are needed in all? Let's unlock the problem.
All right, so the first thing I want to ask is, what does the word triple mean? If you think of triplets or the prefix tri, tricycle, it means 3. So we want to make, instead of just 1 loaf of bread here, we want to make 3 loaves of bread. So we have to triple the recipe.
You can follow the order of operations to find the answer. Let's write an expression to help us solve this problem.
So
evaluate the expression 3 times 2 plus 3 times 1. Let's start by multiplying.
So the way that they got these numbers is that there are 2 cups of wheat flour. So we would triple that, 3 times 2. And so add 1 cup of rye flour, but we need to triple that as well. So 3 times 1. So first we're going to multiply.
3 times 2 equals 6. Then multiply 3 times 1. 3 times 1 equals 3. Next, add the products.
Remember, products are the answers to a multiplication problem, so we're going to add 6 and 3.
6 plus 3 equals 9. So the number of cups of flour needed to triple the bread recipe is 9. Let's use order of operations to help Lena make granola. Each batch of granola Lena makes uses 3 cups of oats, 1 cup of raisins, and 2 cups of nuts. Lena wants to make 4 batches of granola. How many cups of oats, raisins, and nuts will she need in all? Let's write an expression using parentheses to help solve the problem.
So since there are many things here, oats, raisins, and nuts, we're going to put those all in parentheses.
4 times 3 plus 1 plus 2. We can evaluate this expression by following the order of operations. First, let's perform the operations in parentheses.
So I'm going to teach you a trick after the video, but we multiplied first in the last one, but you always have to do parentheses before you multiply. So we're going to do the parentheses first. So we have to do 3 plus 1 plus 2. What is 3 plus 1 plus 2?
3 plus 1 plus 2 equals 6. Next, let's multiply.
Now we do 6 times 4 because we don't need to redo what's in the parentheses.
4 times 6 equals 24. So Lena will use 24 cups of oats, raisins, and nuts in all. Follow the order of operations to evaluate the expression 8 plus 24 minus 8 divided by 4. Perform the operation in parentheses first.
All right.
What does 24 minus 8 equal?
24 minus 8, so 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Hopefully you can do those in your head. Sometimes I still use my fingers. I wouldn't be embarrassed.
Great. 24 minus 8 equals 16. Which operation would you perform next?
So now we no longer have the parentheses. What do you think we'll do? Addition or division? I think back to multiplication. We're actually going to do division first.
That's it. You would divide next to follow the order of operations. What is 16 divided by 4?
Now they've left the parentheses around that because that was the answer we got from what we had to do in the parentheses. So 16 divided by 4. Or you can ask yourself, what times 4 equals 16? And that answer is 4.
Great. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. Now we will perform the final operation to find the answer. What is 8 plus 4?
Now we haven't done anything with this 8 right here, so that's what we're going to do. 8 plus 4, and that's what we got from here. 8 plus 4 is...
Right. 8 plus 4 equals 12. So when we follow the order of operations to evaluate the expression 8 plus 24 minus 8 divided by 4, the answer is 12. Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
All right, so we're going to go back and we are going to go here. Now, if you noticed, we went from finding just a missing piece to doing a whole process. So part of algebra is finding the missing piece. Part of algebra is doing things in order, which is what we're gonna focus on today. And we are going to use this wonderful acronym, PEMDAS. I never say PEMDAS in my head. I always say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I say that because each beginning letter is the beginning letter of the thing that I should do and that I should do in order. So this will be the first thing, please. Excuse will be my second. My is third. Dear is fourth. Aunt is fifth. And Sally is sixth. That's a terrible six. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now take a second and think about it. PEMDAS. What are some operations that start with those same letters? Well, please, we're always going to start with parentheses if they're there. So parentheses, I'm going to show like this with a P in the middle, parentheses. Whatever you have in the parentheses, you'll just do in order first. So then we have the exponent. If you have any exponents in your problem, you're going to do the exponent. And I'm going to put a cute little exponent on there of 2. Remember, an exponent tells you how many times to multiply something. We learned that way back a couple of lessons ago. Then M, my. M might stand for multiply. Now, multiplication can look like an X or it can look like a dot. You will see that in 5th grade, so I'm kind of slipping it in now. Dear stands for divide. Divide can look like a dot, a line, a dot, or it can be a slash mark. Aunt stands for addition. And Sally, S, stands for subtraction. Now, I need to tell you this right now, and I'm going to say it all through 5th grade. It doesn't matter which one is first. You have to do multiplication and division first, and then addition and subtraction. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponent, multiply, divide, add, subtract. I'm going to have this on every single slide, and I want you to practice saying it while you're not even doing a lesson. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now, we're going to put this into practice here. It says connect. Remember that a numerical expression is a mathematical phrase that uses only numbers and operation symbols. For example, parenthesis 5 minus 2 parenthesis times 7, 72 divided by 9 plus 16, parenthesis 24 minus 15 parenthesis plus 32. To evaluate or find the value of a numerical expression with more than one type of operation, you must follow rules called the order of operations. The order of operation tells you in what order you should evaluate an expression. And this is that order. Order of operations. Now tell me, I'm going to flip colors. What does P stand for? It stands for parentheses. What does E stand for? Exponents. What does M stand for? Multiply. What does D stand for? Divide. What does A stand for? Add. And S stands for subtract. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. That is the order. Get it cemented in your brain so you don't forget it. All right, let's put it into practice now. You can see, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponent, multiply, divide, add, subtract. I have this on every page because I would need the help if I were a 5th grader. I still need the help, and I'm 36 years old. Put it down on your paper if you have it. Put it down on your whiteboard if you have it. I don't think there's any shame in writing it down because you're guaranteed to get it more correct than if you didn't have it. So it says a bread recipe calls for 4 cups of wheat flour and 2 cups of rye flour. To triple the recipe, how many cups of flour are needed in all? We're going to triple, so that means we are going to multiply by 3. So evaluate 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2 to find the total number of cups. Gabriella is not going to follow the order of operations correctly. We don't have parentheses, so I can cross that off. We don't need to do it. We don't have an exponent, so I can cross that off. But I do see 2 multiplications there. But the thing about Gabriella here is she's not going to multiply first. She's going to add first. So she's going to add 4 plus 3, and she gets 7. Okay, good job, Gabriella. 4 plus 3 is 7. But Gabriella, you're not supposed to do adding first. Well, when she does that, she has 3 times 7 times 2. 3 times 7 is 21. And then 21 times 2 is 42. So she gets 42. She's saying that they're going to need 42 cups of flour. 42 cups of flour. 42. 42. That's a lot of cups of flour. I think she's gotten it a little wrong. But we can do this by using the order of operations, and let's work it out. Let me put my name up here. Emma, that's my name. All right, so we're going to do 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2. We said we didn't have any parentheses, and we don't have any exponents. So we're going to start with multiplication and division. When I'm looking at the problem, you're going to do whichever one is first. Well, we don't have any division, so I can cross that off. So we're going to multiply. What is 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. And then we have 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So now we can add those together, and 12 plus 6 is 18. So she's going to need 18 cups. Don't forget your unit, okay? So see how we got 2 very different numbers? We got 42 and 18. We need to make sure that we're doing things in order. We didn't have, we didn't have any, Control Z, should take that away. We didn't have any subtract. So really all we had to do was multiply both of the multiplications first, then add those products, those answers. And that's exactly what we did, 12 plus 6, which gave us 18. So explain why Gabriella's answer is not correct. Well, Gabriella should have multiplied first. All you have to put there. And I'm going to squeeze it back down here and make it a little bit smaller. Perfect. Okay, so how many cups did we say we needed? We needed 18 cups. Okay, let's carry on. 3 more slides. Each batch of granola Lena makes uses 3 cups of oats, 1 cup of raisins, and 2 cups of nuts. Lena wants to make 5 batches of granola. How many cups of oats, raisins, and nuts will she need in all? So the in all tells us that we have some adding to do, but she's making 5 batches, so she needs to multiply this by 5. So you can see, write an expression says 5 times 3 plus 1 plus 2. Now let's look at, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please stands for parentheses. Excuse stands for exponent. My stands for multiplication. Dear stands for divide. Aunt stands for add. And Sally stands for subtraction. So, do we have parentheses? Yes. We have 3 plus 1 plus 2. What is 3 plus 1 plus 2? Let's start with 3. Plus 1, 4. Plus 2, 6. So we have 6. Now, we've done that, so let's check that off. Do we have any exponents? No. Do we have any multiplication or division? Yes, we have multiplication. We do not have division, so I'm going to cross that off. So, and we do not have any add, and we do not have any subtract. So 5 times 6 is 30. So Lena will use 30 cups of oats, raisins, and nuts in all. Then my guess is that she's going to divide it so she can split it into different bags, but we're not there yet. Mathematical practice, reasoning. What if Lena makes 4 batches? Will this change the numerical expression? Explain. Well, here we're seeing that she's making 5 batches. So if she makes 4 batches instead of 5, it will change the numerical expression, just the first number. It will only change the first number. Stretch that out. Slide that down. That's all it is for that one. All right, next slide. We have 2 here. And I want to show you, I like this slide because I want to show you how your answers could be so different if you don't go in order. So I put the order down at the bottom. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please stands for, whoops, I need my pen. Please stands for parentheses. Excuse stands for exponents. My stands for multiplication. Dear stands for division. Aunt stands for addition. And Sally stands for subtraction. So let's look at these. It says 6 plus 12 times 8 minus 3. Value 141. Evaluate the expression without parentheses. So we're going to do it just like that. Let me rewrite it down here. 6 plus 12 times 8 minus 3. So without parentheses, we have no parentheses, we have no exponents, but we do have multiplication. We have 12 times 3. 12 times 3, no, not 12 times 3, 12 times 8. And 12 times 8 is 96. If you don't know that, you'd do 8 times 2, that's 16. And then 8 times 1 plus 1 is 9, so 96. And I'm actually going to get rid of that because I'm going to run out of space. So we have 96. So now I'm going to put the other pieces in, minus 3 after, and plus 6 at the beginning. Now we have add and subtract next. You do them in the order you see them. So this one we have add and subtract. That's how we would do them. If they were flopped, you would do subtract then add. For adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing, you just do whichever one is first as you're reading it. So we have 6 plus 96. I'm going to flip it. That's the commutative property, remember. 96 plus 6 is 6 plus 6 is 12. And 9 plus 1 is 10. So that is 102 minus 3. 102 minus 3, 102, 101, 198. So the answer is 98. So without parentheses, our answer was 98. And I'll leave that right there, but I'm going to get rid of that because now what we want to do is we want to put parentheses in, we want it right here. It says we want to, right here, try placing parentheses in the expression so the value is 141. So doing it like we did, we got 98. We need to make this problem go up in value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try, and this is how you can do this sometimes, it's called trial and error. I'm going to first erase this because we're going to need it again. And I know if I do 8 minus 3, that's 5. So that's not going to give me as high of a value. But what if, let me go back here, get my pen. What if I put parentheses here and here? So the first thing I need to do is parentheses. So 6 plus 12 is 18. And 8 minus 3 is 5. I have no exponents. I do have multiplication, no division, no addition, no subtraction now, because I've already done them, because they were in the parentheses. So 18 times 5. 18 times 5, 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 5 is 5, plus 4 is 9. We actually went down. So my parentheses there don't work. Let me erase. But we can do parentheses just about anywhere. So let's do parentheses just around 6 plus 12. So 6 plus 12, we have parentheses. 6 plus 12 is 18. And we're going to multiply that times 8 minus 3. We have no exponents, so next is multiplication and division. We do have multiplication, so we have 18 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. And 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 14. So we have 144. And now we need to subtract 3. Guys, look at this. Minus 3. Let me erase this. It only took me 2 trial and errors. 4 minus 3 is 1, and then 4 is by itself, and 1 is by itself. So the parentheses go around just the 6 and the 12. Now, this is going to challenge you. It's going to be hard. It's going to make some of you frustrated, but I encourage you to just try. Try, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get it wrong, and maybe you can learn from it. All right, I have one page left. So we have, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please stands for parentheses. Excuse stands for exponent. My stands for multiplication. Dear stands for division. Aunt stands for multiplication. No, it doesn't. Aunt stands for addition. And Sally stands for subtraction. So let's look at number 1, 2, and 3, complete them, and then you'll be on your way. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we have 10 plus 36 divided by 9. So is addition first or division first? I'm going to rewrite it just to make a little bit more space. 36 divided by 9. Okay, well, hopefully while I was writing that, you said division, Miss Witkowski, division. Yes, it is division comes first. See, it's here, division. So 36 divided by 9 is 4. And then we can go back and put plus 10 in front of it. And 10 plus 4 is 14. So our answer is 14. Now we have parentheses, right? So we have 10 plus 25 minus 10 divided by 5. There's a lot there. I promise you, if you go with the order of operations, it will be a little bit easier. So we have 10, and I'm writing in green to separate it from the first one. Plus, that is a terrible parenthesis. 25 minus 10 divided by 5. Okay, so the first thing, parenthesis, we have a parenthesis. So we need to do 25 minus 10. 25 minus 10 is 15. And now we add our other parts. Plus 10 in the front and divided by 5 in the back. Now we have addition and division. Which one are we going to do first? Think about what we did in that first one. We're going to do division first. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. And now we can add 10, and 10 plus 3 is 13. All right, and the last one I'm going to do in red. Whoops. We have 9, I'm going to squeeze it down. 9 minus 3 times 2 plus 8. Okay, make sure I've got all my parentheses. Now, we have parentheses, so we have to do that first. 3 times 2 is 6. And then we have plus 8 on the end and minus 6 on the front. Not minus 6. 9 minus on the front and plus 8 on the back. So now we have add and subtract. Do whichever one is first. So in this problem, 9 minus 6 is first. 9 minus 6 is 3. And then 3 plus 8 is 11. So our answer is 11. All right, if you have any problems, I am available from 1:30 until 3:30 every day. 1:30 to 3:30. I'm available. You just got to get a hold of me. I can't read your mind. So good luck.